Hi, good evening.
Yes,
I'm Charleston Black. And before I can start the show, I'll give it to Chris Leo. Proceed.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, any space.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Charles Black. Um, I'm glad to be here, man. It's another Monday. Wonderful. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Charles Black. What's going on? I'm glad to be here, man. Oh shoot, that's me playing that in the my bad, my bad. Let me just get this together. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Okay. My bad. I'm playing it. Never mind. So Monday morning. This is Monday night. We started off right. Oh man, this is already starting to be a good show, man. We got a bunch of topics, a lot of recent news, things that happened over the weekend, man. But before we get into that, you guys had a celebration this weekend, man. I want to have a little more insight on what happened this weekend. I see you guys looking Dougie fresh. What's going on? And Zay, I love that shirt. To what happened this weekend, man? What y'all doing?
I appreciate that compliment, Chris. No, we had one of the hood friends. She turned 40. We always like to celebrate our partners. She's successful. She's doing her thing. Her and her brother. I don't know how her mom managed to do that, but had her and her brother on the same exact day, 2 years apart. So she threw a big extravaganza birthday for herself and surprise for her brother, who was, I must say, I never seen anybody that surprised, but he was very appreciative that we came up, showed love, actually talked to him again yesterday where he, said, thank you guys for taking the time out to come up to celebrate his birthday. That really meant a lot to him. So, and then we got a chance to catch up with a lot of old friends, man. It was like a reunion all over again. So it was dope.
Yeah, I see y'all was able to get Big Norm out. Well, medium Norm, because it's still a Big Norm living. So how did y'all manage to do that?
That was all her. That was all Star. She put the word out and he came through. I think he let Horace know because Horace didn't know, what I'm saying? I let Hardy know. And man, we showed up. We did what the Black Super Friends do. Link, like Voltron. See, I
Yeah.
be telling people it's more than just the four faces you see here. It's so many components and parts to us, you know. So, and then once we got here, the hometown love, Mr. Russell, you know what I'm saying? Boy Tori, they came and Suge, I seen Suge, I ain't seen Suge in years, you know what I mean? We got to catch up for a brief moment, you know what I'm saying? And it was just all love. Atlanta's always love.
Yeah, I heard Tootie, I heard you was getting a lot of love up there in the Linux Mall, though. What's up with that?
No comment, and I shall plead the fifth. Listen, one thing about it, man, I really just wanted to go. I didn't make it to Mario House yet. That was my intentions, right? But I always say Atlanta's my second home, so I just wanted to get away, man. Being able to go see Hardy, be in Atlanta, which is always a nice vibe for a bachelor, you know, and the surprise for people to actually want to see you. I think that's love in itself. People be excited to see you come and celebrate them. You know what I mean? So seeing Starkeisha and seeing the family was amazing. Getting to, see the south side of Georgia, always a good time hanging out with D, Super Mario. It was just a good little trip to unplug a couple days, man. So being able to hang with Gigantor for a few days was nice. Because, growing up, we wasn't close. But now, you know, Norman says, spend as much time as possible with him. He wants to learn. So I'm there for him. I'm trying to help Norman change, and I know God has really put me in his life to make him better.
Okay. You guys love your sibling rivalry is one for the ages. Hold on, how was it playing the host to the city?
I'm the worst host in the world. I'm the worst host in the world. So if you ever think you coming to Atlanta and meet a host, you're gonna be a dead sucker. Because I definitely don't like to go nowhere, and I damn sure don't like to drive. These boys drove all over the city. Boy, they right now at this point, There's it's an APB out for that goddamn rental car. They went to every section of Atlanta and surrounding areas. It was everywhere. And I was not trying to be any parts of that. I went out now Thursday night because I had a lot of work to do to catch up on Friday and Saturday, and messing around with them, almost got arrested. I got pulled over by the police after having a drink, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm finna go to jail for a DUI, coming to hang with Tootie and Stoogie Wright in the gang." I said, but I got spared, thank you, Lord. They just gave me a warning. I got my ass on home, but it was real nice, man. We went to when I come up here, when people come up here, I take them to one of my little cigar bars. We went there and kind of like ended the night there, and it's a nice little vibe. So we had a good time, man. We laughed, we joked, we stood outside. It felt like we were back on 30th Street. We was under the lights in the outside the party, laughing and joking. And then, like they said, we seen people who we ain't seen in a while, and it became like a little homecoming type thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice thing, man. It was nice, man. And everybody looked nice, dressed up, grown, man. It was a good thing. Good time, man.
I definitely drove at least 1,500 miles from Perimeter to
They went to every mall.
Georgia.
They went to every mall in Georgia.
Every mall. Got into it with some jits that sell water over at Cumberland. Oh, it was for
better be careful with that.
I went to a suit shop that was like, bro, only in Georgia. Like, there's no way y'all are really in here buying these suits. These were the worst suits I ever seen in my life. And Jokers in there like it was, boy, Brooks Brothers and Polo. Like, only in Georgia, dog. Only in Georgia.
Yeah, I seen you with the ankles out, man. Again, I seen you, stylish toot. I'm gonna say it like this, man. It's you guys was in Atlanta. I hope you guys had a good time because I think at this point there's a lot, almost a gray shadow or cloud over Atlanta right now. With the passing, the shooting of TakeOff. Before I give him his condolences and his moment of silence, I want to give send my condolences to Courtney Green, Verdi, Mr. Green, Mr. Rapper Ring, doing rapper things, man. I want to talk about the people that I know first and give them their flowers before I give anyone else's. I had the opportunity to have a relationship with his oldest son. Him and our families connect. So I just want to give a rest in power to Courtney Green, your family, your kids, who all you left behind, man. It's sad to see you go out like that. So at this point in time, we want to give a moment of silence for Courtney Green and TakeOff. Okay. This was a tough one for me, man. The TakeOff thing was a tough one for me. I normally don't get emotionally invested in celebrity deaths because it's just, I don't know them. But this one was, I don't know, I kind of felt a certain way about this one. I wasn't a big, huge Migos fan, but TakeOff always seemed to be the coolest one to me. Horace, you got something you want to say?
After you, my brother.
Okay. But yeah, TakeOff was always the coolest one to me. And honestly, man, to be honest with you, out of all their solo projects, I think sonically, TakeOff was the best. So it's sad to see something like this happen to him. Like I said, my condolences go out to the family. My condolences go out to Quavo also. As an uncle of some amazing nephews, I would hate for my nephew to die due to something that I could have prevented, or an incident that I was going through, and it ended up taking my nephew's life. I think that would be bad, like completely heartbreaking for me. What's also sad is he didn't get to become a father, and that's real sad. He died at 28 and wouldn't become a father. And I think that when men become fathers, especially involved, participating fathers, we tend to make less dangerous decisions, and put ourselves in less dangerous positions. So I wish he had. I wish he had a child, but it's just like I said, it's a tragic thing of him going. I think what we see in here is, now I'm not a big Bible guy or Bible reader, but in the Bible it says the love of money is the root of all evil. And I think that's what you're seeing here, because I can't explain what could make millionaires and 100,000aires want to shoot dice at a bowling alley, but the love of money. Because, and I can see it plays out. You love your money, so now you're losing your money. You're getting upset about that, and then your money goes running off with another man, and you're mad about that. So you're getting your feelings. And whenever you mix hood dudes, alcohol, drinks, guns, and emotions, that makes for a cocktail of disaster, man. Again, this is just a sad situation. Anybody else wanna say some words? Speak on it, Horace.
I wanted to say, first of all, he's the best rapper in the group. Maybe him dying triggered me in different ways, right? Because we always had this conversation where I got different people. All of us are friends and different people, and they be trying to get me in different places. Oh, you should come out to Renegade. Or you should come hang out here. Oh, you should do this. But I know, as much as I love y'all, I'm responsible for me. So I know, I always say this, like, they might have fun over there and nothing might not happen. But I'm always conscious of my vibes. If I don't feel like it resonates with me or I don't feel like going, I don't go. Because oftentimes, maybe I've gotten to be that much old that I have seen enough times that it's usually the person that's the good person. The person that ain't never mess with nobody. The person that don't ever get into no conflict with nobody be the one that somehow gets shot. It be a stray bullet. Somebody stabbed the wrong person. So we've seen this story happen a whole lot of times in different scenarios. The thing that I feel like we miss is, again, we don't know how to handle conflict. If I actually, whether I knew you or not, Chris, if I actually thought you was a cousin of mine or a brother of mine, I'm not gonna think about actually hurting you or bringing your demise. And I think we got to start getting to that point where, whether I know you or not, bro, you're another black man. I don't want to see. I'd rather whoop your ass than actually kill you. So the thing that bothers me about that is we making money, all this money, and we go right back to doing the stuff that we prayed to get away from. I always say this a lot. I lost my cousin Courtney that same night. They were begging me to come down there. I'm like, I'm not coming down there. He dies. Innocent, bystander. So situations like, if I pray for God to get me off these streets or pray for me to do better, and he gives me this blessing, I'm making tons of money and millions, why wouldn't I change? He giving me the capability to change my life, my family life, my circumstances. He give me that opportunity, and I run back and keep just doing the same shit I was doing as a kid. We're not kids no more. So it was hurtful to know that this man had nothing to do with what was going on, but he was there. And for a man to be 28, worth that kind of money, and probably, I don't feel like, I can't judge him, probably didn't even tap into his potential, didn't take the trips he could have taken. Like, I just want black men to grow old, man. So I was stunned, and I was actually speechless about this man dying, because it felt like I'd heard this story so many times, man, that I think we'd be missing it. You know what I mean? And that group will never be the Migos again, And I'm pretty sure that cousin, Quavo, is going to think a million times, what if? But, death is eternal. That's what we need to start realizing. You got right now, and death is different. So, not to go on my rant, but damn, bro, that's sad, man. A young man with so much talent that didn't fuck with nobody has lost his life, and ain't nothing you can do. Ain't no coming back from that.
Damari, you in Atlanta right now, and you guys was in there this weekend. What is the temperature up there? How does it feel up there, man?
Well, I think that all y'all said the same thing. I think that is the way you describe him is the way I think the world sees him, right? So we don't really know him, but from a person that even in interviews, really when it came to beef or really came to outspokenness or just articulating himself, period, it really was like almost I keep to myself. I just love music and I just want to be about my craft. Saying so much because you could tell how his life ended. Like you said, he had no kids. We didn't never know who TakeOff girlfriend was. We didn't never know too much about TakeOff. Like you just knew he was Amigo and that was Quavo uncle and Offset cousin. That's all you knew. That's really technically all you really knew about him, unless you was in his direct circle, because he kind of kept to himself. And when you hear his peers talk about him and the people who was around him in all the venues that he went to in the studios and all that, and when they say the same thing, that let you know he definitely was a person that kept to himself. But I just want to have just to say about this situation. I've been hearing so much that every time a rapper gets killed, the first thing happens is rappers get on TV and say rap is a dangerous job. And I would say being a rapper is such a dangerous career. It's one of the most dangerous careers in the world. But I've yet to see a rapper get shot on stage. I've yet to see a rapper get shot at a meet and greet behind stage where he's taking pictures with fans. No, rappers get shot and killed because they still live a hood life. And I hate to say this, but the same thing happened to Quavo happened in every hood around the world right now. Niggas get shot at dice games all the time in the hood. See, that's the thing. And they want to say, well, rock stars don't do. No, because rock stars don't walk around with $2 million worth of jewelry. They have a credit card. They don't walk around with $50,000 worth of money in their pocket. Like it's like you are walking, talking, lit on every level. Because our genre, you have to prove yourself. Like Tootie was saying, like you don't know how to conflict resonate. So now you don't know how to do that. So you got to prove yourself, but then you don't want security. But then when you do have security, you tell security, chill, I got it. So you hire security, but then you want to fight. But then you hire security, but then you tell me I'm going to wrap my chains in every hood. But it's hoods that don't give a damn about security, are you? But then you go to places and say, I'm going to gamble with a whole bunch of hood niggas. And then think that I'm going to talk to you and it's going to be a mutual respect when people are already going to feel like if you're downing me because of your money. And it might not have had nothing to do with your money. You might have just said something I ain't like. But when I said that I'm rich, now I'm little boying you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that I just don't like that rhetoric that's saying, oh, being a rapper is this. No, bro, that has nothing to do with rap. That has nothing to do with the genre of music. That has something to do with people not going away. Like Tootie said, it has something to do with that if a rock star gets famous, he's probably going to have house parties. If a rapper gets famous, he goes to Renegades and buys it out and wears all the jewelry and then hangs in the parking lot afterwards. And then get into an argument with a nigga across the street because he's not playing his music. You see what I'm saying? And then they're like, man, he got shot because he's a rapper. No, he got shot because he was doing hood things. That wasn't the case for Quavo, TakeOff. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, you was in a space where they was not supposed to be. The bowling alley thing was over. Go. If you want to gamble, you're rich enough to go to Vegas, and every nigga in this motherfucker put them on the plane and you go to Vegas and y'all can rent out a room. I love Vegas. You can rent out a room with heavy security and y'all can go in there and shoot dice on the pool table in Vegas. You can do that. You're in LA. That's an hour and 10 minutes. You can do that. But it's not, I want to say I was down here gambling with Jethro, who's known from Houston, who the biggest dope. But then when you do that, you're going to get those kind of reactions. And then the whole world going to be mad. And then all you see Bootsy and all them, oh, man, it's so dangerous to be a rapper. No, bro. It's dangerous to be a real nigga. So why don't y'all stop trying to be real niggas and start to be a real father, a real husband, a real brother, and a real entrepreneur, a real peacemaker, all this other stuff you can be real that's going to not get you shot, bro. Because the most dangerous thing about TakeOff dying is this. You said this. It'll never be the Migos again. Right? The Migos control the whole generation of people. But then they feed so much of their families. So that family's intertwined. TakeOff took care of his mama. So I'm sure Quavo gonna step up and Offset, but I'm saying now you just took a millionaire out of the family. Like you said, he didn't get to have kids. So his legacy done. And let people talk about him. But we know your kids and the young ones, that's who keep your legacy going. So now all that you done accomplished in life, all you doing is leaving your mama with hurt instead of letting her die in the most peaceful place she could have died in the world, knowing her son had accomplished everything. But that's not what's happening. Now, for the rest of her days, she's going to be hurt because she lost her son as a millionaire at a dice game. Come on, man. We got to do better, baby.
Say, Talk to
Um, first things first, I'm gonna start off with Courtney because I'm gonna start off at home. Green shocked me. That really shocked me, So to his family, my condolences. To the rapper wings that do rapper things. You know what I'm saying? My boy Verde was very catchy. Anybody that knew him, it was always love when he was around. He was a fun-loving guy, father of 4, I believe. You know what I'm saying? So my condolences to his children because he's no longer here for them. And like I said, that story shocked me, just as the story with TakeOff, and I don't know that young man. But as Hardy had alluded to with the videos that we've seen of individuals talking about this young man, who we all seen his demeanor was just cool, calm, and collected at all times. He never had anything, even in the little altercation when they had with Joe Budden. And I humorously reposted it because that was a funny moment in Migos history where him and Joe Budden, I believe, and DJ Academic had, they were having a conflict, but he just stood on his square of what he said. He didn't elevate his voice. He didn't lose control. He was very calm in his emotion, you know what I'm saying, and handle the situation. And that was that. So it was very unfortunate to see him go like that, especially as everyone said he was to himself the whole night, but that seems to be the underlying story tone or pitch when it comes to TakeOff. He's to himself. He took care of his mother and his siblings, no children. So like you said, as Mario was saying, as we started talking, we're older gentlemen, and we started talking about legacy and wealth building. You took a millionaire out of the family. Yes, there are other ones, but that's one less. So, the only thing that's better than 1 millionaire is 2. And they had 3 in their family. So, that hurts us because we are talking a lot more these days about building up our culture, building up our families so that we can have a strong centralized unit. And that just hurt to hear that because the Migos will not be the same. Again, TakeOff lost his life, but then you got to think about it. Quavo is losing his mind. And then the other sad part is you have Offset, who wasn't on the best of relationships with, I think, Quavo. So him and TakeOff were good, but then so you got to think that doubles down on him too. And something that Horace said, which is very, very true, people got to stop playing around as if death isn't real. You get mad with loved ones and thinking that you got time to heal it later on when you just need to hey man, listen, you pissed me off. No, don't do that with me. You understand what I'm saying? Handle it as men instead of carrying it around and holding grudges and being all emotional. That's, take a lesson from TakeOff. Cool, calm, and collected, man. Control your emotions. Rest in peace to that king. Sorry that happened to him. And the stories going around behind it. I don't really follow the rich people news like that because I'm trying to get that so I can be an example of how to stay out of the way of those things. But it's just a very unfortunate incident all the way around the board. So, my condolences to those involved.
You say I was left out bad and bougie?
Say it again.
You say I was left out bad? Do I look like I was left out bad and bougie?
What? Come again? Rest
Listen,
in peace to that man.
So let me get diabolical. I've already given disclaimers because when you don't have power, man, you got to act right. Like they say, want to do for good tomorrow. So you can't make no plans when you're in the hands of the man. So you got arrested. You can't do much. So that same applies to what you say. You have a right to say it, but there come consequences. So our conversation is going to be courageous and it's going to be real. But as we know, we don't have the same privileges in this country as most people. So we just had a conversation the week before with Kanye going to war about the term and the word anti-Semitism, which is a whole nother conversation because we sincerely asked, what is anti-Semitism? Well, a week later, Kyrie Irving has made the news. And this is where it's interesting because I told you I have some Jewish friends, and for their sake, I didn't hold back. And they didn't want to have a dialogue. It's one of those things where this is what they've been taught, but they don't know how to conversate back. And that's where it gets interesting. We've been taught one thing as African Americans, they've been taught something else. And hell, they even have schools where the Jewish faith kids go to a school that pretty much teaches them how special they are compared to everybody else. But let me get back on topic. So last week, Kyrie Irving on the best platform in the world, Twitter, retweeted a documentary that was highlighted on Amazon. The name of the, I guess, documentary is Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America by Ronald Dalton Jr. And this is where the satire was going to kick in. This man simply had a retweet that enraged all of the world, and it was labeled as anti-Semitic. He was deemed to be, he was told and forced to apologize. 2 days later, he made a statement that was not to their liking. So the New York Knicks, who this man plays professional basketball for, suspended him for 5 games at least. Nike and other products went on the bandwagon and said they were going to release him as well for what is anti-Semitic comments, right? I want to remind you that Kyrie Irving made no comments. He simply made a retweet of this documentary. Second of all, Jeff Bezos gets involved in this conversation. This documentary is being sold on Amazon. In its defense, Amazon is a bookstore. There's a whole space. But people now ask the question that this same documentary that Kyrie Irving is being drugged for is still on Amazon. Jeff Bezos is making a profit from this movie. And to be honest, now that everybody's so curious about it, it's actually selling in record numbers. But here goes the diabolical part of this conversation. The Washington Post put out an article 3 days ago that says Kyrie Irving is a delusional, dysfunctional part of society and must be punished. You know who owns the Washington Post? Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon. So we introduced this conversation tonight because we are 4 Black men, right? And this conversation has not been received well by people on the other side of the coin. So tonight, instead of asking what is anti-Semitism, because nobody has the answer, to be honest, when I did have a conversation with a friend, he didn't even realize how prejudiced and racist his replies were. So I was simply asked tonight, do you guys, with all that you've just learned or been new about this Kyrie Irving situation, do you stand with Kyrie Irving? Because the basic rights to freedom of speech doesn't seem to be equal for all. So whether you can take that premise, or you may say, hey, I don't feel like the basis of his punishment is going to be effective conflict resolution. What comes from you kicking me off a team? All these brands say they're separated from me. So when I list all the hypocrisy and prejudice, I sum it up to present the case to you guys tonight. Do you stand with Kyrie Irving, and do you realize what this is really about? I'm going to go to Chris Leo, who will, speak in his best passionate voice.
Man, this is a very, very confusing situation to me because in America, if you're a Christian, you have the ability to believe that a man was born from a woman that never had sex, and he died, and then 3 days later woke up. You are free to believe that.
He did.
If you are also free in the same space, in the same America, to believe that yes, that man did exist, but he did none of those things. He did no miracles. If you are Islam or you Jehovah's Witness, you get to believe that in this country. If you are Mormon, you get to believe that John Smith basically did that stuff. If you are, I don't know exactly what Scientologists believe, but they get to believe whatever they want to believe. And also, this country is so free. If you don't want to believe in none of that shit, none of it, you can be an atheist, and that's fine. The only thing that it seems like you cannot believe in this country is if you're a Black man, believe that you are an original Jew, which I thought Jewish was a religion, not a people, a religion, something that you can convert to, something that you can believe in. The only thing that you cannot believe in this country, it seems to be, if that black people was original Jews. This whole situation to me, like you pointed out before, Horace, I don't get it. He reposted a picture of a documentary. I don't know one documentary I have ever watched, and you guys can fill me in if you watch one, that you agree with everything in the video, in the documentary. Never. Most of the time when we repost something, we reposting what we like of it or what we believe of it. Not it is in its entirety. We post what we believe in it of it. Now, imagine if Kyrie was to post 12 Years a Slave or a movie like Roots, that has nothing but anti-black sentiment in it. Would you say that he was anti-black because he posted Roots or 12 Years a Slave? No, you wouldn't think of that. Matter of fact, what if, now I flip it. What if he posted Schindler's List? For those that don't know, Schindler's List is a movie directed by a Jewish man that depict the Holocaust that the Jewish community went through. Do you think if he would have retweeted the Schindler's List, would he have felt the same scrutiny? I personally don't think so. I think they would have looked at it as if he was supporting the Jewish community. Although Schindler's List has a lot of anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic stuff in that movie, you can't tell what part of a tweet of a documentary that a person like, or the person that part that they support. What if he would have posted Schindler's List and he would have liked the anti-Semitism in it? You could never tell because he didn't caption his post. He just posted out. That I'm starting to believe that the black man in this country has no friends, has no allies. The second they tell us to lead, but the second we act strong and outspoken and independent, everybody does this to us. Not just that community. Everybody does this to us. We done seen our women do the same thing to us when we pump our chest out and speak plainly and direct and tell you how we really feel and what we really believe. What I want to see is some of these. Where is our support as black men from one, our women, and from our community? Where's that man's support? Because he cannot, like I've been saying, he cannot lead by himself. Where's his support? We're going to be asked tomorrow black men are going to be asked to save this country. They're going to tell us to vote this and vote for women's rights, vote for this and vote for that. Who's going to stand with us? Right now, you got a black man being crucified in the media, and who's gonna stand for us? Nobody, man. This to me is bullying. To me, this is bullying. You can't force somebody to apologize. Especially if I didn't do nothing wrong. And I think the problem is they interviewing the right person because he won't say anything wrong. They say they call him anti-Semitic. You say, how can I be some anti-Semitic when I know where I'm from? You can't stop me from believing what I believe. This is a free country. Everybody get to believe what they believe. So I'm baffled by this situation.
Well, I tell you what, don't be surprised if this clip don't go far, right? Because again, we ain't got no power. When you post anything that's related to Kanye, Kyrie, anti-Semitic, your views are slashed or the videos are removed. That's why in each of my conversations with my other friends, I highlight this is modern day butt breaking. So don't tell me about when I had this conversation, God said this, God. I was like, bro, so you said we all created equal on one hand, but then you tell me you're the chosen. So I just think we're not even allowed to have dialogue. But this is backfiring simply because of this one issue. Now, you got people love drama and people love drama. So now everybody's running to see the damn movie. So today on ESPN, they discussed it and the girl cut Jason Williams off and she said, oh, da-da-da. You know why? Because the producers still run them. producer still cashed a check. And the brother was having a conversation, giving out some simple facts, just like you just highlighted. And he goes in and redirects. Oh, yeah, but you can't support stuff that talks about Hitler and killing Jews and da-da-da. He's like, well, what are you talking about? But that's the kind of stuff we're facing mentally. I didn't like when LeBron, it's mental warfare, but hey, I'll just give it over to you guys. I just wanted to really highlight to add context for you guys. To add to this, what they want this man to do is this. This is a demand because Kyrie says that he's going to retire. That's the rumor. Sources: Nets have delivered Kyrie Irving 6 items he must complete to return to the team. Apologize and condemn the movie. 500,000 donation to anti-hate causes. He donated 500 to the ADL the other day, which was refused, just for context. Sensitivity training, anti-Semitic training, meet with the ADL again, Jewish leaders, and meet with Joe's side to demonstrate understanding of what he did wrong. Just want to put that out there, Mario and Zay. Zay?
So my position is the same. The same way, like I told you guys, I didn't feel like Ye was being stood beside. He's still a black man. He has his views. I don't have to follow his views, but his views are his views. It's the same thing with with Kyrie. Apologize. But Kyrie's situation is a little bit more peculiar because what in the entire hell, like, I don't understand. Chris, you made a great point. If a white person posts the link for 12 years a slave, nothing happens. And it's the same way. So I understood the correlation that you made with black men, but he's a black man. So until we understand that we got to be together or have each other's back, whether it's right or wrong, and correct each other ourselves instead of putting on a public spectacle of each other for to show, oh, I'm not like the rest. I'm different. Man, they'll do the same thing to you. It's ridiculous. So the thing about it was the link. Everyone's talking about freedom of speech. He said nothing. He put the link up. From my understanding, Kyrie Irving is a Hebrew. The information was about Hebrew to Negro. So he probably was doing nothing no different than Jehovah's Witnesses do on a Saturday morning or Friday evening, where they go out and they try to spread the word about their faith. Christians do when they walk and they pass out tracts and they talk to you about the goodness of the Lord. He was just talking to other men that look like himself, or giving information to receipts for other men that look like himself to research. That there is information that can enlighten you, not to down talk anyone else. But one thing I always looked at is from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. See, for you to feel like that was anti-Semitic or that was hateful, you have some hate in your heart, and you felt the way, and you know that something isn't right, but you're not speaking on the correct issue. But why would you? Because see, they take care of their own. Something we could take a lesson from them and learn, instead of getting out on public platforms and telling the world that your brother's a dumbass or your brother, did something, because they don't do that. I'll kill them dead. Dylan Roof shot up a church. They took him to Burger King. Never forget that. But we're black men, so they don't give us the same. We don't have the same playing field, but we knew this already. So, hey, he's standing on his square. I respect him. He ain't saying anything wrong. He's very articulate. He said what he mean. He mean what he said. And if that's what it is, that's what it is. He wouldn't be the first basketball player that they've done this way. I believe Craig Hodges. I believe Muhammad Abdul
Mahmoud Abdul
Rauf. Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And someone else, we were just joking about the guy from the Heat who is really, really good. I know Chris and Mario, y'all are better with the sports statistics than I am, but it's a repeating cycle. Shaq kind of let me down. I didn't like his comments. You know what I'm saying? LeBron, come on, bro. And I understand that you're trying to save face and you got a family that you got to take care of. And I understand the money aspect of it, but come on, man. You can't say that you're for your people, and then the moment that there's some type of controversy involving your people, you're not standing there trying to mediate. you hurry up and jump into the defense of the other side. As a black man, that don't look good to me. But that's just my opinion and my thoughts. Hardy, bring it home. You normally have a different outlook on this than all of us. So
I definitely do.
Go right on ahead.
So first of all, I do believe I stand with Kyrie, but for way different reasons than any one of y'all said. So I want to say that before I'm gonna say it again, because I know a lot of times when I'm speaking, they get lost in translation, and I want to be very factual, punctual, and I want you to understand exactly what I'm saying. I do stand with Kyrie, but not for none of those reasons. Zay alluded to Miles Leonard, so I want to debunk something. My whole premises about that community is that this has nothing to do with black. This has something to do with nobody play with me. See, that's the difference. Miles Leonard was the Heat guard in 2020, 2021. He was on a video game on Skype. You can look this up. He was playing with some of his friends who were Jews and said, come on, bloke. He said bloke to him. He said kite to him. He said kite. He had the best year of his life. Miles Leonard, I'm sorry for all y'all out there, is a white guy. He got traded the next day. Then he went to Oklahoma. They didn't know about it. And then he got cut. And then he mysteriously came back and had an ACL tear. He's not in the league no more. So stop acting like this. I understand what we're saying. Black people, as men, we have it worse. But this is not about that. This is about a group of people who have said, we went through the Holocaust and we will never be oppressed again. So we're going to get the money. We're going to stick together. We're going to buy out real estate. We're going to buy out companies. And we're going to put ourselves in a position to nobody ever can fuck with us, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. We have America's a capitalistic society. Whoever has the money has the power. Simple. But everybody want to talk emotional. Oh, this shouldn't be right. This shouldn't feel right. Why do we press? Whoever has the money has the power. So the Jewish people didn't yell. They didn't scream. They didn't march. They didn't picket. They said, let's get the money. We're going to get the money and own all of the businesses to the point that you're right. I can't make Kyrie apologize. I just take every bit of dollar from him. So stand on it. So because they cannot make Kyrie apologize. Let's get that straight. Freedom of speech means Kyrie will not be put in jail if he don't apologize. He will not. But if I own a company, I can make you do what you want, what I want if you want my money. Once again, we always miss the point. Because I hear people say every day, it's not about money, man. You can't say it's all about money, man. It's not about everything somebody has to do with power is about money. What are you talking about? We've talked about Chris boycotted the NFL. Why? Because the owners didn't do that. Who owned it? It's always about money. People keep talking about it's not about money. Bro, it's only about money in a capitalistic society. This is what America's built off of. The only way you beat this system is getting money. The Jewish people right now, when they first came from Germany, didn't have no say so. This from years of saving and sticking together and buying stuff and sticking together. And then they build their own church. Then they build their own gym. Then they build their own park. Then they build their own community. Then I worked for Jewish people for at least 12 years. Beautiful people. Like Tudor said, I got some friends that are very close to me or Jewish. Know what I see? If a brother who from the synagogue get fired, I instantly had a paper on my desk that said, hey, Mario, he starts tomorrow. Because I go to church with him. It's nothing. He never drove forklift a day in his life. You know why? Because it's his company. It's his company. So we can always focus on it's not fair, man. You know, nobody want to hire us. Why don't you be the hirer? It's not fair, man. They're trying to make Kyrie apologize. Why don't y'all come together like Tudor made up a good point? Why don't y'all come together and buy a team? You buy enough Hublots, you buy enough Rolexes and Petites and Balenciaga, buy a team. Because you can offer somebody more than they want for the team. That's the thing. You can overpay because of what it stands for. You can know the team is $10 million and say, we'll give you $34 million because we need it. Because once we owners, now we had to sit at the table and now it makes a difference. Because now, like Jackson State, people going to come here and play for us even if we're not Florida State, even if we're not Miami, even if we're not Alabama. We see that happening with Deion right now. It's turning the tide. But you got to say what? Deion took a pay cut to do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the money. But that's all I want to say. Like, Kyrie, said what he said, and he did what he did. And I honestly think he felt like he made a mistake. That's why I respect him. Because, and I hate this too, and I'm going to let this go. Kyrie and Kanye are two different situations. And I hate that when people always try to see what Zay said not to point him out, that's dangerous again. You can't keep saying about behind the black man because Herschel Walker's the black man. See, so understand when you're saying we should always, because what happened is this. When Mel Kiper did the thing with Jesus, white people didn't go to his offense. They let that nigga drive there by himself and he died by, that's what I'm saying. Like, so we got to learn to do that to our people too. The ones that don't really represent us, they got to down the cross by themselves. Because what happened? We the only group of people that looked at as non-monolithic. We all the ones get grouped up. When Tula do something, that's black people. Like you said, when Dylan Roof do something, that's him. So it's dangerous to say we all got to keep doing this together. We all got to know when you do something wrong, nigga, you do that. Hey, we don't stand for that. We don't stand for that. And that's what we got to do. That's the difference between us because we don't say, bro, that was wrong. I don't care. It's no justifying that. R. Kelly, you slept with little girls. That's wrong. I don't care. That's wrong. Not, man, they trying to railroad the black man. You shouldn't have slept with little girls. That's wrong. But we don't do that. So I'm always say that's I don't like when people group people together because Kyrie did what he said. He did not say nothing. He posted a link of what he felt. Then when he felt he was sorry, I believe this. I don't believe they made him. I believe when he felt like I didn't mean for this to happen like that, he apologized. And then from there on, here comes the lashing. Now it's like your apology ain't enough now. Tula brought this up, and I'm gonna bring this up, and this is true, and I'm gonna shut up. Right now, Kyrie had just offered help to the Jewish community. He said, in my good conscience, we can't take this from the good brother Kyrie. And the demands, they want exactly what he offered them. Because the money. Bro, they're going to take that, and then it's going to help put another little Jewish kid through college. So, hey, y'all can believe what y'all want to, but at the end of the day, when people run the world, when they run these companies, then what? So you want to keep crying and tell them they're wrong?
But listen, I'm going to tell you what I don't like. I'm sorry, Chris. I don't like when we see stuff. You know how modern day, first thing Negroes want to do is go march, and I would be on the show telling you, I'm not marching nowhere. That's foolish. If I was the person that I'm marching against, they looking in the window laughing at y'all. You know why? Because you marching and don't understand why marching was effective. Same thing when I see that iconic picture of Jim Brown, Ham Williams, like all of them all the main athletes at one time, they used to meet. Bill Russell, all of them used to meet together. And it was very iconic. Because as much as Mario says that money is everything, those same people that are wealthy and have the power to do this right here, them Negroes back then understood that, yeah, you can do that, but you making it off of me. And if I get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of us, I know you love money, and I know it's going to hurt you, and I know that I got some power too. So that's what was disappointing, because if this happened back then, you'd have seen 1 or 2 players. Hell, the Olympic athlete, I can look at old athletes who knew what was going to be, and they didn't get it just due, but they knew the consequence, and they said, I'm going to do it for the cause, and they fought back. Did they get the support they needed? Nah, because most of them died broken, penniless, because they were standing on principle. So I said that to say that's what was disappointing when, damn, even if you don't agree with Kyrie, had that conversation off the side. But for you to publicly get out there and bash him, that hurt me personally, right or wrong, because that is the video they're going to use to keep trending. You got Charles Barkley, you got all these people that they put in front of your face to support this distaste for Kyrie. Now, the people like today when Jason Williams was talking, oh, producers cut. You know why? Because it's modern day butt breaking. Like, that's why I didn't understand. Yeah, as much money as they make, I just felt like, hell, if 1 or 2 more players say, nah, that ain't right, handle it a different way, man, them NBA players will go, the NBA going to a tailspin because they're going to think about the money they're going to lose. But we slave to the money as well because everybody talking about the money Kyrie going to make. Shit, he's been in the league for a while. I'm pretty sure the brothers got a nice little nest egg. He's very conscious. LeBron making a nice little, got a nice little then said, we have to get back to principle because as much as people celebrate Diddy and fat ass Khaled and all them people, all y'all do is celebrate and show us how rich y'all are. I can't tell you what to do with your money, but goddamn, at what point are we gonna try to build our own infrastructure? But that's just my rant. Sorry about that, Chris.
Yeah, I think that you're right. I think that I've said it on the last show. I don't know what we're going to war with them for. I think we should use their resources that they give us and build our own 100%. A part of what Harder was saying, I think is I agree with. One part I'll push back on is by your own team. It's not like that in the NFL. The NFL has to everything got to get voted on, and they have to vote you to be able to get on by this team. It's not just about not just about the money. But as far as having money, it's one thing to have money, and that's really, really effective. But it's another way to use money as a tool that we can do. That's when the boycotting come in. But it has to be a collective thing. I think that if we're serious about this, I'm more than willing to, I'm a revolutionary. I believe in that. So I'm willing to boycott. I'm willing to do whatever we decide. But at the same time, man, what I think is most important is us using the money, the finances the resources that we already have in our community, building our own stuff, and basically mimicking what they did to gain leverage and power in this country instead of crying and complaining. Again, I think that what Hard is saying is true. They got the money. If you want to keep on accepting their money, then you go have to dance. And I almost feel bad talking about, because I see a lot of it on the internet of like, clowning Kyrie for apologizing. Like, there's a lot. Kyrie employs a lot of people. There's a lot of people depending on him. So I can't ever make a person feel bad about apologizing, especially when I heard his apology. Right. His apology is for the incorrect information in that documentary. Right. He did not say sorry for nothing else. He said he is sorry for the incorrect. Right. I'm sorry that I posted this incorrect information. Right. That's what he was apologizing for. So I'm not going to hang a man for that. Right. I've heard it being some of this being compared to. I seen one clip where they comparing this to what happened to Kunta Kinte and Roots. That is being very disrespectful to the slaves that had to go through that. This is just a public apology. It may be a tad bit embarrassing, but it's not the same as being tarred and feathered and beat in front of your community. But I would like to see some of our leaders say something, stand up, do something. I do take offense with what Shaq and Charles did. And LeBron. Kyrie, because Kyrie is not too much of LeBron, because LeBron is just echoing the sentiment of what's being said. They're saying they're hurt. We said on this show, we can't tell somebody that they're not hurt. I don't know how sensitive that community is. They didn't have to deal with what we had to deal with, the punishment of constantly bashing us and constantly talking about us. When they get talked about, they strike down a hammer and they don't get to feel that. So maybe they are hurt. I don't know. Maybe they are that sensitive to any type of criticism. Unfortunately, we have to be, as Black people, we have to be thick-skinned. But to answer the ultimate question, yes, 100%, I stand with Kyrie. I would not like to boycott basketball because this is one of my favorite sports, and I damn sure don't want to stop wearing Nikes. But if y'all want to do it, I'm with y'all.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. So sign me up. But let me just say this before y'all go ahead and ride out. Chris, that's not correct. So what happened is this for football. So you're right about it's a group that votes you in, right, as owner. That part is correct. But what happens is this: you don't have the lion's share of the votes to be like you first have to have the money and the equity to buy the team, and then they look at your resume, right? So when Tyler Perry and them was making up what's your boy name? Kaepernick was first getting pushed out, they was pushing for who to buy a team? Byron Allen. Byron Allen. That's not just a black person. That's a man who if you don't let him have a team, then it's racist and prejudice, and that's why that's the guy in everything. Me, you, Tootie, and Zay, sir, can walk into different doors with different things, and that's just what it is. So instead of y'all saying, so when Diddy came out and said, "I want to buy a team," wrong move. What you need to be doing is Jay-Z, Tyler, all y'all sitting down with Byron Allen saying, "Brother, I heard you want to buy this team. We are 1,000,000% behind you. Whenever you need it, we don't have to put our name nowhere on it. We got your back. Go get that team." And then he go get the team secretly. And then nobody gets no pat on the back for it. And then at the ball, when he has the team and Byron Allen, and then you bring him out because I got the team now. But the thing about it is that everybody want to be the top dog. Everybody want to say in partnership with. Bro, you could be a silent partner and shut the hell up for the greater good. Because Byron Allen is in the running right now. He's one of the finalists for the Commanders right now. So I don't hear people saying, "Let's get behind him."
Not to mention Byron Allen owns TV networks.
Right.
So you get a 2-for-1 here. You get a black owner who can
the Weather Channel
now. They own the Weather Channel, and they got more television channels that you can push your product through.
But he's not gonna stand for foolishness. See, that's the difference. See, because I admire Brian Allen. So I said, damn, he came from here, he do this, but you don't see him at the Rock Nation brand. You don't see him at the Khaled release party. Because at some point, bro.
But I did see him on Breakfast Club, and I love that interview.
You know why? Because he said they have, as a television guy, they have the pulse, and then what does Charlie Mason do? They do talk about political stuff, but he'll never go on Ebro. You see what I'm saying? So my point is, but now people gonna see him and say, "Oh, he Uncle Tom, he a coon." We do that to our people all the time. We got to understand, bro. This man, just because he didn't play basketball and he don't wear hip hop stuff, that don't mean that he not for the black people too. So sometimes we got to shut the hell up and know that that's the guy who got to walk through the door first. That's all. That's the only point I wanted to make. Like, bro, it is a black man right now trying. That's not glass past that. Who's trying to buy a team right now, currently. So if he don't buy a team, it's because of we didn't step behind him. Period.
Y'all know who Byron Allen is?
You
know how he started his career?
Yeah. What's that TV show?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Byron Allen was a comedian that was like the opposite Eddie Murphy, who was the brunt of all the jokes in Hollywood. And when they started crapping on him, the man got into the executive, behind the scenes, executive producing, and all of that stuff. And brother did well. He learned Hollywood. He played the game. And I think when I seen Kyrie apologize, I said he playing the game. Because really, once you get out there, you by yourself. And if he ain't learned nothing else, he by himself. He got to play the game. But it just discourages me to all of y'all point, man. We got to learn how to play because it's chess out here.
Right.
But to see the situation with people that's attacking, like, damn, we're attacking our own. I ain't gonna. What you gonna say? Oh, he's stupid. He's just like, bro, like.
But I believe that's what he believed. I'm saying, he's a dickhead, right? Chuck and them. But I believe that's who they are. See, I don't believe they're shucking and driving. I believe they actually believe what they said.
Right.
I believe Chuck believes that. I don't think nobody was in his ear.
Oh, wait.
I think they put the right guy on TV because he's the guy who's gonna say that regardless.
I said all that to say, what we are so mentally manipulated and effed over and indoctrinated.
Right.
And I laugh when they said, "Oh, he apologized for the misinformation." What misinformation? Why is it so? Why do they not want you to see this movie? Why do they not want you to have something that may empower you or make you feel? It's the same reason we talk every other month about why is it so vital to keep men from educating themselves and bettering themselves and just trying to do better. The thing that's backfiring now is that same documentary is flying. Boy, it's bootleg, it's flying, and hell, boy, see how
it made me start honestly. It made me start honestly watching it. I ain't done it. It's 3 hours, but I had to see it because I wanted to see. I like to be in the know of really what was because like what Chris said. any documentary you're gonna have is gonna have information in there. Dahmer right now, the family for them people suing right now because they said it was misinformation. So him apologizing for misinformation is in the game because anybody can apologize for misinformation because every documentary has misinformation in it because it's a lot of people's opinions and their point of views. So the point he was trying to make in the movie, from what I'm seeing so far in the documentary, is like not to get too deep, but Israel is too Jewish. When Chris said it's a religion, no, it's a people, right? So Jews are people, but it's the Israelites and the Hebrews, but it's two different people. But it's always been a battle on who was God's chosen people. So all you're seeing right now is the Israelites and the Hebrews battling again on national TV about who's God's chosen people. That's what the underlining battle is with this right now. So that's why when he came out and said that, and he said, I'm a Hebrew, that see, when Kanye said anti-Semite is the word for, you know what he said? He should say Hebrew. Because anytime a person who's a Palestine or one of those, I don't want to go too deep, but they don't hate to hear a black Hebrew say Jew. Because from the beginning of time, from Abraham, that's been the fight. Them two brothers. Like Abraham had 3 sons. Them 3 brothers, right? That's been the fight. Who's them nations that come exactly from them? That's been the fight.
I thought it was
It gets deeper than that too, Harder.
I thought it was the kids of the wife and the kids of the concubine fighting over the land.
Yeah, 3.
Still his kids.
2 that was from his wife and 1 from his concubine, but all of them was his children. So they all had rights to it. But then now you're talking about that's how you get from the same blood. What Abraham was from, supposed to be the blood of Jesus. Like, oh, that's the same crescent. But then that's how you got 2 different nations. And they still had the same rights, but they all been saying who was chosen by their father, which it goes to assimilate to who's the chosen people from Jesus. That's why I say it's so deep. But when you see that, when you don't understand, that's why I say put it in the book. When you don't understand, like, this is not even about black man. This is about when Kyrie said he was a Hebrew.
Yeah.
See that word right there? When you say you a Hebrew, and then they say, well, I'm an Israelite. Oh, it's instantly war.
Yeah, it's the outside children not accepting. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my kids, it's like if my father had something, my kids get it. And F your kids, in other words. You understand what I'm saying? So once he did that, it just ignited that race war that I was talking about.
What I don't understand is this. Some people got offended, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Kyrie didn't have to apologize and tell what about the documentary that he denounced. Right. But the offended party doesn't have to show their face. And that offended party doesn't even have to tell you what part of that documentary.
The only offended party that matters is the one who signed his check.
Yes, sir.
Chris, it's only one offended party that matters. The one who signed his check.
But he won't even say. He won't even come out and say, I'm offended, and I'm offended by this.
And he's never going to. He's going to attack your pockets.
You don't pick up. If somebody try me, you can fire them just for trying me. You don't have to explain to them why. That's your company. See, that's why I keep saying that's your company. So you know how you don't owe nothing to an employee or pick up. Well, if I tell you, Chris, nigga tried me, bro, he said this and this and this, and you be like, he tried my dog. Fine. Or
you're right. Technically, you're right. But if this was this is done on a public scale, why is these offended people not showing themselves and not telling what part they
wasting your time? You're wasting your time, my brother.
Why do they have to? I think that's my point.
I'm saying because you're saying that a portion of this offended you.
Because I can't.
So we can know. So we can know what part.
I don't care if you know. I don't care if you
disagree with. But if you tell me what part you disagree with, these people can biblically, not just talking, biblically show you proof of what they're saying.
But it's not about that.
See, you think that they care, Chris. You think that they care. They don't.
The point is not about that. The point is not about understanding. The point is about doing what I say.
Right.
Like, this is mine. That's the point. The point is, I'm here. You're here. That's why I keep saying you got to get the money. It don't matter. Well, I'm not trying to go back and forth. You're not trying to. That's what I'm saying. We got to put this on a minute level, bro. It don't matter if somebody who worked for you is right or not, bro. They work for you. You're not going to sit there in the hot sun and go back and forth with one of your employees, bro. I said this, and that's what it is. Then once it gets to the point, you're going to keep enforcing it. You're not going to get out. Bro, I'm not doing that. This is what it is. You either want to work here or you don't. Because at the end of the day, it's that simple. Kyrie either want to play in the NBA or he don't.
Oh, he don't.
Because they can't make him shut up. They cannot make him shut up. They cannot make him apologize. The only reason why he does that is because what? He wants a check.
You want to play?
And I understand as a man, we do stuff we don't want to feed our family. So I'm never going to castrate him for that. But at the end of the day, I understand what that is. It has nothing to do about let's come to an agreement or understanding. It has to.
Hey, no.
My great-great-granddaddy told me this who we are. I don't want to give a damn what Kyrie say. Apologize or get off.
Listen, a book. Remember they said that bookstores were going to be going away. The book called "The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews" used to be a book you can get for $15, $20. That same book now is going for $450. Some are even going as high as $2,000, and you can't even get a copy of it.
Yep.
So I just think this whole conversation is started something in America.
Bro, Farrakhan said this 2 years ago with his addressing to the real Jews, like, go get that book now. That's you won't be able to get it. See, that's what I'm saying. But it's just like we keep saying this stuff, we keep doing this stuff, but then go back to Takeoff. Then we have a whole bunch of million. Then we just lost another millionaire. I don't think it's Jewish people lawyers just gambling in the hotel lobby with a whole bunch of pistols with broke people
Definitely
around.
Ain't.
The dude who shot Takeoff is broke. So I don't think a whole bunch of lawyers, the top lawyers in the city, I'm gonna say I don't want to like the Jew. Those people, that community. I don't think the top of those people are gonna be in the same environment with the bottom of those people, and they're gonna have all their money. I don't think. See, they don't put themselves in that kind of situation. Like we need it.
But we do.
We need all the black millionaires we can, because if we ever come to band together, but we keep losing them. Just think about it. Every time you use a rap person who's famous, that's another millionaire gone.
Yeah.
But why? Because you giving people why was whatchamacallit eating waffles at goddamn in the middle of the hood? So that's what I'm saying. We keep doing this stuff, bro. Have that stuff brought to you. What's the point of having money if you're not gonna use it to put yourself in a safe
Wisely.
Like Tootie said, there's some places, bro, I don't care what you say, I'm not going. And I ain't got no money right now, but I got too much to lose. No, bro, I'm not going there, bro. I'm not. I'm sorry. Call me what you want. And it's a good time. I love the music. I love the drinks. It ain't worth, bro. Because if I die right now, then my kids, they have to have a hard life now. Because they're growing up without me. Instantly. The minute I die, I don't care how much money I leave them. The minute I die, my sons and daughters have a hard life now. But you don't take that into consideration, bro, because it's not only about me having a good time tonight. It's about them having a good life when I'm dead and gone. But we don't think that far. We just think, oh, shit, where the hoes at, boy? I got to go. Then you die. Then what they got, bro? Chris spoke about black men. Bro, we are needed. Not just for our money, for our wisdom, for our community, for our understanding, how's the iron gonna get sharpened if all the iron is gone? But we don't see that because we're gonna have a good time, boy. One thing we're gonna do is have a good time, boy. And then at what cost? I see so many people, I'll be like, bro, why are you there? You standing right next to a motherfucker who ain't got $10 in his pocket.
Yeah.
You a steak. In his head the whole night, he ain't listening to the song. He thinking a way that he can probably do something and get away with it the whole time. Come on, bro. We got to be smarter, bro. And then when somebody do make a smart decision, the first thing the people do instead of saying, hey, Tootie, hey, Chris, hey, say, y'all, I'm glad you ain't at this spot no more. They say, look at this. Oh, now you too good for us. Oh, now you don't even want to come here no more. You don't got green. Man, listen, man. I'm the Jolly Green Giant himself. Ho, me every Halloween. That's who I am. I'm the square as a pool table. I don't give a damn. Listen, I can give a, because none of them people, they're going to cry about you on Tuesday and go back to eating wings on Wednesday. And you go back to green. Now watch all these people finna be all I've been seeing on there. But this man, mama and daddy died. And I bet you now one of them people went over there and sat at this man's house one time. They're like, bro, how you doing? The two people that raised you, I knew Green since I was like 5 years old. So the two people that raised you all your life are gone. You don't think that affected that man? So when you see him inspiring or you see him doing this and doing all that kind of stuff, you just, man, look at him. Boy, look at him. Instead of saying, bro, you all right? You good? I love you. But we don't do that. But when he died, oh man, that was man. I mean, one time we was in the club, bro. You know that, man. You will never club me, and my children be out here as fatherless. That's why the older I get, the more of ruckus, my inner ruckus, it's starting to come from my stomach and it's boiling up and it's coming up more and more and more. And I understand why Ruckus said niggas because he didn't say black people. He said them niggas. Excuse me, Tootie. I know you don't like it, but that's what he said. And I will tell you the difference. Because he didn't say black people. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't just in your stomach. It's all over you now.
Right. And I'm happy with it. Because one thing for sure, when I die in the grave and my kids be where they at, they can say, my daddy did all this for us. And that's all I care about. So let it be known. That's all I care about.
All right.
Well, Jesus said, you can't get this house with no street cred.
Well, another action-packed Monday night of the Black Super Friends podcast that went way over, but I kind of honestly figured that, right? We're at 110 tonight.
Yeah, ain't that bad.
Well, I knew that conversation was needed, but I knew it was going to go kind of long, like I tend to do all the time. While I got them on screen, Zay, I'm going to let you do final comments. Zay, you kind
I hear you, my boy. I hear you. I hear you.
I see
Yeah, that whatever you said. But hey man, Atlanta was a blast. The big deal I got to hang out with and see. Theo's a trip. I appreciated the time that we got to bond as brothers. Chris, I wish you would have made it. I'm quite sure you would have enjoyed it as well. And man, I appreciate everyone that came in on this Monday night and enjoyed this conversation. I hope you took something away from it. Don't forget the mugs. They're dropping. They're here. Hardy, show your mug. Chris, show your mug. Thanksgiving right around the corner, followed up by Christmas. Support for Black brothers because we're going to do the right thing for our community.
Super Mario.
Hey, shout out, man, to everybody who came out, especially the good hanging with the fellas this weekend. Like he said, Chris, you was missed. We got to, you know what I'm saying, get up before the year. And it was good having a conversation, man. I always say, man, these guys always spark a little fire in me, you know what I'm saying, to go to the next week. You know what I'm saying? I just had Mexico with these, especially these two right here. And now they just came back to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, brought old Stoogie right. And we had a good conversation. You know, that's what I like, you know what I'm saying? Because I learned something from, like I told them that night, I learned something from everybody who around in my circle right now. You in my circle right now, this ain't because I knew you for 20 years. This is because I actually value you. So I want to make that, because I don't tell you, oh, we just knew each other. Yeah, I know a lot of people who I don't talk to. So understand that the people in my circle I love, and I appreciate y'all coming out. And this is just a representation of it. People who really, really care about each other and who think different, walk different, and look different, but all can show love. And I wish the world would do that. I wish our Black community would show this in the world.
Chris Leo, Caesar Leo.
Yes. I just want to talk about this mug, man. You guys have to get this mug. This is a stocking stuffer. Imagine waking up Thanksgiving morning to a hot cup of Joe. Imagine waking up Christmas morning in your pajamas with your your main chick, enjoying some hot chocolate. Imagine when you come home late night, drunk as hell, and you just got to have you some coffee to sober yourself up. Imagine if you had this. And not to mention, it is a one-of-a-kind mug. Ain't nobody going to have your mug. You're the only one that's going to have this mug. Man, it's worth it, man. Hit the DM, buy a mug just in time for the New Year's. We love you. Thanks for showing up tonight.
All right. I want to give a shout out to Ruth in the comments. Ruth is leader of the Taylorport Girls. You need to catch that internet show. They get on Teleport and boy, they teleport somewhere else. Ruth, get all that wine. Second of all, man, I want to give a big shout out to West Palm Beach icon. Many people don't know he has roots here. Salute to Dusty Baker at 73 for winning the World Series. So it's only been 3. managers, black managers that has won the World Series, and that man has been in baseball forever. So kudos to that brother who has committed his life to baseball. He has a lot of roots in West Palm Beach. He's good friends with my friend Don and Richard Riles and the family. So that's how I know of him and whatnot. But shout out to that brother on accomplishing a major league win. So history was made the other day. I want to shout out everyone on the panel just for being who y'all are, man. That's it. That's the message. I just appreciate y'all for being y'all in some capacity, because it all adds to the good. You know what I'm saying? So see y'all next week on the same bad channel. All right? Simple and plain.
Goes well with Yak.
And Taylor Port.